Hi, this is Chris at the Wandering Bull. Today we're going to talk about fans, loose fans, flat fans, their construction, and the material used in making those fans. Here on my left is a set. It's a Gourd dance rattle set. It's got a fan and a rattle that match. The beadwork matches both, made by the same person at the same time. The rattle consists of a salt shaker, beaded handle. The whole handle is beaded all the way down. A lot of work. And the end has thin twisted fringe, nicely done. And the top has, like a orangey color, greasy yellow fiber. It comes off the top. The fan has the handle that twists off from the feathers. And it's done on old gun cleaning rods. So you can store your fan away safely, and or you could change the feathers and still keep the same beaded handle. So this rattle is a pheasant, a male pheasant tail feather rattle. And during the construction, this is the front of the feather of this one. All of these feathers face forward as you turn that fan around. So even though it is in a bundle, they're still facing outward opposed to looking at the back of those feathers. And this guy also has a little extra, a nice detail, nice 13-0 cuts, thread wrapped around that leather base. And all these feathers are tied and glued separately and then all applied into the base of that threaded rod that would go into the handle. Nice example, probably 20, 30 years old. The next fan here is a flat fan, and they're bronze turkey tail feathers with the parrot feathers down to hackles and down to fluffs. Has a water bird cutout glued on top of that feather and some feathers off the top. A little more parrot tail feathers on the back. And that also has twisted fringe. I don't think it's leather. I think it's some form of fiber. And the handle is not beaded, but a nice fan as well. So this is a flat fan. Move over to these flat fans, done with parrot feathers. So that's a tail. Here's the center tail feather right up the middle. So there'll be feathers left and right. Nicely arranged. The thread work at the bottom, awful lot of work to line those threads up properly. They all line up, they're symmetrical. So then these feathers are constructed with the thread work, and then they're applied into the handle and set nicely. So that handle is deerskin wrapped, and it has leather fringe as well on the bottom of that. Nice job. And right at the top has, once more, some deerskin, probably pinched in the back and glued in place. A nice fan. Same with this fan. Same kind of construction. No thread work, so there's a difference. Extra hackles here. Turn that guy over. That's the back of the tail. And same thing. This red feather right up the center is the center of that parrot's tail. And this guy has twisted fringe as well. Now we'll switch over to this one. It's once again on that gun cleaning rod. That handle separates from the fan. So that is the end of the wooden rod, and they cut the wood off, pull the wood out of this twisted end, and inside of the beadwork is the female end of that gun cleaning rod. Slide that in place. So unique about this fan, done with parrot feathers, all the way down, nice detail, some paint on these deerskin that pinches the bottom quill of the feather. There's bands of metal work right across. And if you hadn't noticed, all these feathers face forward. Even though it's a loose fan, it's designed to be loose, they all face forward. I'll turn it over. There's all the reverse, the back side of those tail feathers. So whoever wanted it wanted this fan to be like this, all those feathers face forward. And the holder of the fan would see the back of the feathers. Nicely done. 13/0 cut handle, twisted fringe. The next fan, same thing, that gun cleaning rod. It's got a 13/0 cut handle, twisted fringe, and the tops are male pheasant tail feathers. The center is that nice parrot feather. Look at all the extra detail that the craft person who constructed this fan did, right even on that center of that parrot feather. So once again, it's a loose fan. They're all gathered together and they all face forward. So the viewer would see this nice end. There's the reverse side that would be held towards the dancer. So, and they have this extra piece of leather at the bottom to hold all those feathers like it came off the tail of the bird. It is a loose fan, just a different construction technique. The next fan is a flat fan, parrot feathers, hackles at the top, tufts of fur, probably ermine fur at the top, down to these 2 thread rods, and they're probably a little wood dowel, and all the thread work with the brass spots, the ermine cut in place, and to top it off has those nice yellow hackles. And the bottom of this one has thread work very similar to this guy here. So these feathers were all decorated and then applied to the handle. That's about the only way you're going to be able to get all that thread wrapped around the base of those feathers. Then the fan was constructed after the feathers were complete. Once it was constructed, then it can be beaded. Nice 13/0 cuts as well. There's the back of that parrot tail. These actually may be parrot wing feathers. So a nice fan as well. The last fan on my right is once again a Gourd dance rattle set. So it has the beaded rattle and nice 13/0 cuts, twisted fringe at the bottom. On the rattle has this little extra piece of leather, edge beaded, nice detail. And the top is beaded as well with some white horsehair. So the fan, we've talked about flat fans. This guy's very unique. If you notice all the feathers, it's round. They stand upright. They're not floppy like this guy. They stand upright, but they all face out. So the very inside is where the back of the feathers face. The front of all the feathers face outward. Nice fan. Nice red parrot feathers and all the little detail. Ermine cut finely. Some fine parrot feathers in there. Turn it around. And it has 1, 2. We have 2 very decorated red parrot feathers. So then we go down. There's more ermine skin, yarn thread work on that. And they're all perfectly symmetrical. They all line up. So it's a good craftsman that constructed this fan. Well done. 13/0 beaded handle, twisted fringe. So a nice set. So thanks for watching. It's Chris at the Wandering Bull. You can go to the website, wanderingbull.com, jump on our Facebook page, check us out on Instagram. If you have any questions, you can give us a call at 1-800-430-2855. Here at the Wandering Bull, we carry majority of this material, the beads, the leather, feathers, and so these fans are all on the website now. So be the first to go because they're not going to last long. Thanks for watching.